Continue to digest the details of the spending review announced on Wednesday, one particular government cash commitment is raising many questions. The budget for overseas aid has been protected and even increased, a decision defended by Prime Minister David Cameron as a moral duty. In a moment, we'll go live to India, the biggest single recipient of British aid. But first, with a look at the facts and figures, here's Graham Satchell.
Why is international aid £8 billion going up by 36% in the next few years? Government arguments for increasing aid are clear. It fulfills an international commitment, it allows Britain to hold its head high on the world stage, and in the end, saving lives in poorer countries is just the right thing to do. The budget is going up, but overseas aid will change in coming years. Programmes in China and Russia, for example, will stop, and aid will be more closely linked to British interests, security, preventing conflicts. Nonetheless, concerns remain. Human Rights Watch has just done a study of how British aid is being used in Ethiopia.
We found that people who don't support the ruling party are being discriminated against. They're being cut out of food aid programs, being denied seeds, fertiliser, microloans, things like that. So in effect, British money and international money is supporting an authoritarian regime that's protecting its power base.
And there are other questions. Why will India continue to get money when it has its own space programme? Many argue poorer countries become dependent on aid, and trade, in the end, is a more effective way to help. Graham Satchell, BBC News.
So let's examine this issue by going to Delhi. My guest there is Shireen Miller, Director of Advocacy for Save the Children India. Shireen Miller, is it time for India to break away from at least some reliance on international aid?
Absolutely not. I mean, we definitely need to have aid coming into the country. The point is that we still have millions of people living in poverty in India. You know, India is a huge country, so even though we have had economic growth rates, we still have large numbers in poverty. Over 400 million live in poverty. So those people still do need aid from wherever they can get it.
Well, you say that, but I have to say some in the Indian government appear to disagree. There was a leaked memo just weeks ago from your foreign minister in India suggesting that India didn't want aid from Britain after next year.
Well, that might be one or two people who say that because they actually maybe want to think that, we can do it. But the point is we haven't done it. And the fact is that if people turn their back from the outside on these poorest people, it will allow people in India who may want to brush this under the carpet to do the same. So the actual fact is, if Britain is serious about reducing poverty, then it must look at India, because India has largest numbers of people living in poverty. You know, a recent report showed that just in 7 states of India, we have more than all of sub-Saharan Africa. So these people really need to be reached.
Well, I do not